come right to the front. Probably won't need a microphone if we better.
Do not use the mic.
We could switch the power off. And is there a switch on the mic?
It's too much. So it sounds.
It's better. So it's switched off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Mataji Nirmala Devi. This is her second visit to the United States. Although the gathering is very small, it's very difficult to know how to reach the seekers in a country where seekers seem to be either in one bias of intellectual seeking or in another where they're seeking all sorts of methods by which they can attain the truth. The mass media is such a difficult way of letting people know that there is a great spiritual being here on the earth, and yet it's a very important event of Mataji's advent here on this earth. The seeking that's within you has probably brought you through many, many lives and into this incarnation where you have to get something. You have to actually get something which you've been looking for so long. And whether we call it in the scriptures, as we might call it, self-realization, whether we call it moksha, whether we call it pa, whatever the word is, we all are seekers after truth, and we have to become our spirit. And rather than in the past, where it was very much a few who got it under the guidance of a guru, far away, withdrawn from the world in the jungles, under very severe disciplines, it's a happening that's occurring en masse. I've been with Mataji for 18 months only, with her in the sense of having gained my realization. Because once you get your realization, you become your own guru. You don't depend upon the guru. You don't have to become a member of an ashram. You don't have to pay any money. There's nothing like that. What happens, and I hope it'll happen to each one of you tonight, is that you actually get an experience, and that experience is something which is quite discernible in your central nervous system. You actually are conscious within your central nervous system of an experience, and that experience is what has been described in the scriptures many, many times in different ways. It's the cool wind of the Holy Spirit. It's the Chaitanya Lahiri, which is referred to in the Hindu scriptures. It's the Ruh, referred to in the Muslim scriptures. This is an actual experience of something which has been promised. So in that sense, it's the fulfillment of all the seeking that's been occurring. Because you see, Mataji is the consummate incarnation. She's the one who has come as the fulfillment for all your seeking, because you become your spirit once you gain your realization. This is not a talk. This is not another lecture. This is not intellectual jugglery. It's not some sort of initiation where somebody touches you on the forehead. It's not like that. It's an actual experience where within your subtle body, something very, very amazing happens. And when it happens, you become connected to the all-pervading power of God, which is there, and from which we become separated, and back to which we have to make our ascent. And this is what happens when we get our realization. There's a latent energy within the triangular bone known as the sacrum, and that energy is called Kundalini. And when in the presence or at the invitation of an authorized person, a realized soul, she rises. She rises very sweetly and very softly, very gently, and you experience it as silence. You experience it as a cool breeze on the hands. You experience it as a cool wind emitting from the top of your head. And at that moment, you have attained your spirit. At that moment, you become collectively conscious. You start to monitor on your fingertips which of your chakras are clearing, which of your chakras are blocked, which needs some attention. And she'll teach you the technique of how to clear those chakras where they are slightly blocked. But more than anything, you get something which you've been seeking. You get your spirit. And that's what you've been seeking. This is what you've been wanting. So if any of us settle for anything less than that, if any of us go to, as I did, many of the ashrams in India, all the textbooks on spirituality, all of these things, they're such a dead end. You don't reach anything in particular. The gurus promise you self-realization, but they don't give it. And here is the one who can give it, but she doesn't just give it on a one-to-one basis. By her love and by her power and by her compassion, a very rare coefficient of energy flows from her being, and that energy awakens that something within you, and you get your realization. You can verify the truth for yourself. You can verify the truth for yourself. You don't have to believe anything I say or that Mother says. You can actually verify it in your own conscious awareness. So have this experience and then settle into it. Develop it as an experience and develop it as a reality within your own experience. You'll find that all the physical problems of life, health problems, will just disappear. You'll find that emotional problems will just disappear. You'll find that mental problems will go. Worries, anxieties will disappear. But this is a byproduct, because I keep repeating, it's a spiritual experience that happens. And when you become connected to the all-pervading love of God, that has to be an actualization which gives you the ultimate. So I won't explain very much about Kundalini awakening and Sahaja Yoga. I'll leave that to Mataji. All I want to tell you is that I've watched around the world where Mataji has been, literally thousands of people get self-realization at a time. 6,000 in one village in India. 500 in the country where I come from, in Australia, just in a hall like this, gained it in one night. It's a happening en masse. And this is how it has to be, because it's not a one-to-one thing anymore. It's very much, as I get it, I have to give it to you. As you get it, you have to give it to others. It's not exclusive. There's no money can be paid for it. There is no structure. This is what you've been looking for, so I urge you to be in a state of mind where you're receptive. Be like a scientist, if that's the way to put it. Be open-minded about it and judge for yourself. While Mother's talking, I suggest you slip your shoes off, because that earths you to the earth. It's purely to help you feel the vibrations. And just rest your hands on your lap like this, and you'll possibly begin to feel vibrations as the lecture progresses, and at the end, Mother will give you the experience, because that's what you've come for. Remember that she is only here on this earth to give you one thing, and yet that one thing is the ultimate experience. It's not mesmerism. It's not any of these stupid things with which most of us have got tangled up. It's nothing like this. It's not an intellectual trip. Just enjoy the experience and develop it, because what happens tonight is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. And join with all the realized souls, both on the earth and who have not yet taken birth, but who are very rapidly taking incarnation as young children. Join that spiritual civilization that's been promised in all the scriptures. Again, our mother, as we call her, Mataji Nirmala Devi.
Should I use that?
You'd like to use it? Okay.
Since recording it, that's
We don't have it well. Stand back a little.
it. It's nice to come back to America. I know there are lots of seekers in this country lost. They are frantically seeking, no doubt. They are genuine seekers. I have no doubt about it. I came back after 9 years. It was unfortunate because I was busy with other parts of the world. And I knew I'll find them again when I go back. It is for us to know, first of all, that if you are seeking reality, if you are seeking the truth, we have to be very honest about it. Extremely honest. We have to know that unless and until we find it, we should not believe anyone, should not accept any service, anything. People may say anything. I may tell you that you have to have your realization. That doesn't mean that you have to believe me. Doesn't mean at all, but you should not also deny me. Now, first of all, we should know what we are seeking. There has been never on this earth such an urge to seek. So many seekers. I don't know if you understand that a very different type of category of people, I call them men of God, are born, who are seekers. And they will go on seeking till they find the truth. But one has to know what we are seeking. What are we to seek? It is said you have to become, you have to be. What do we have to be? We have to be our spirit. Now we do not know what our spirit is. The spirit exists, no doubt. It watches us. We know there is a spirit. But how to bring that spirit in our conscious mind, in our central nervous system is the point. And when people know that there are such demands, the markets also get filled with enterprises. It's very common. Americans are the worst hit because you have purse, you have money. That's the worst part of it. And that's how all of them are flowing down here, and they have exploited you. I do, and I'm sorry for all that. But I must tell you that you cannot pay for your realization. It's an insult of God. How can you pay? How can you pay for Islam? Do you pay to a tree when it gives you fruit? You do not. Maybe a merchant might take the fruit and sell it. It's much more than that. How can we pay for it? Is a simple question we should ask ourselves honestly. Then second point is, you cannot have courses in God realization. What university did Christ go? He was a simple man. Did he go to any university? There's no understanding for us that God is for everyone, whether you are educated or not, whether you have money or not, whether you understand this language or that language. God's language is of love and is for everyone. Every person, for every race. It cannot be for one person or one type of people or of one category. But one category is there, and they are the seekers. Seekers is a special category. But only trouble is they do not know what they are seeking. For this we have to refer to some authentic people. For example, we should see now Christ. Christ said that you are to be born again. Last time when I came to America, they were taping my speeches and all that in Los Angeles. And I was amazed to see that people objected to it, that they should not tape. I said, let them tape it, what does it matter? They said, no mother, they will publish it. I said, let them publish. It's a big fact, they should get it. They should get their realization. They have to be born again. But I was amazed, and they wrote books as if that was their knowledge. I don't mind that either. But saying that you have to be born again, and they got a certificate, self-certificate, that we are born again. How can you certify yourself you are born again? We have to be honest about it. If we are born again, something special has to happen to us. Like Jung has said, you have to become collectively conscious. Not that I say we are all brothers and sisters and we are all one. No, you have to become that part and parcel of the whole. As you say, the microcosm. You have to become. This microcosm has to become that. That means in evolution, your awareness has to become something more. As an animal, you see, for example, for an animal, he doesn't see any colors. He doesn't see whether it is filthy or good, but you do. In the same way, if you have to rise higher, the change has to come in your awareness. That is one thing one should know, that the transformation has to take place in your awareness. And that is what one should see, that is there any transformation in awareness. For example, there is somebody who starts jumping on the seat. I have seen some people who come to me, they just start jumping and they think they have got realization. How can that be? You are not in possession of yourself. You have to be your own master. Here, somebody is making you jump. Maybe you are possessed. You have no authority over yourself. You do not know how to control yourself. And how do you say that you have got realization? If you become self-realized, you are not going to be enslaved. You are going to get over all kinds of slavery. You have to be a master. This should be the test of anything that you are seeking. What have you got yourself? Are you emitting your own powers? I may say, as he has said it, I mean, I don't know why Warren said this, because I seldom start with this kind of thing, but if he wanted to see, he said it. Now, to say that I am such and such and such and such is nonsense. I may be anything, so what? What did you get is the point. Did you feel yourself anything more than what you are? Did you get anything more that you have had? Not you become crazy people, recluses. That's not the way. You are going to be the most normal person. Has to be extremely normal. And above all, you have to have complete control over yourself. That is the minimum of minimum one should know. But our idea about self-realization is so much spoiled. And so many pseudo people have written, even about Kundalini. I was amazed when I found out that such big books are written about Kundalini, saying it is in the stomach, some says it is in the nose, it is here and there. It is not there. It is in the sacrum bone. You can see it yourself with your own eyes. When the Kundalini rises, you can see the pulsation just like a heart. Not in everyone, of course, but in some people who have an obstruction, you can see with your naked eyes. You should be able to see it happening. And you can also feel the pulsation coming to the head. I mean, so many people have said it. There are people who are now, I'm told, are converting people into Sikhism and this and that. And what is Sikhism? If you read Kabira, who is the basis of Sikhism, has said that you have to feel the cool breeze coming out of your head. He says, Shunya Shikhara Para Anahata Bajiri. They say, on the head, first of all, there's the sound of the Anahata. It's this lap-tap of the heart. And then you feel that cool breeze coming out. It's so clearly said. But who reads those people? Those people who talk even of Hinduism and all that, do they read? Adi Shankaracharya. What Adi Shankaracharya has said? He has written books after books on Kundalini, and not only, but on this Chaitanya Lahari, he has written a complete book. But people don't read that. You get these, I don't know, extracts and some sort of it. I don't know how. They are not afraid of God. They are not afraid just to make some money. I don't know. Are they going to carry this money with them? It's very, very wrong. It's very sinful. I don't mind whatever they do, but it's all right if they want to be smugglers and all. There are many like that. But they spoil your Kundalini. You are damaged. And this is the thing which I am concerned about. And it's a very sad thing. Coming to America is a real venture for me, because I did send some of the people who were really realized souls, and they came here. They ran away within 3 days. They said they will never recognize us. There's a barrier. There's a barrier. They will never recognize us, mother. They went back. They rushed back. They stayed in New York. One of them stayed in 3 days. He ran away. He couldn't stay here. He said they just want something else. They don't want God. They don't want their spirit. Of course, I don't believe that. These barriers are created to us because we read about it. We try to understand through reading. It's good. But you must come to a right conclusion through logical understanding. Not rationality. Rationality is something which can take you anywhere. Rationality can give you rationalize even a murder, anything. But logically you must understand where should we reach? What should happen to us? As seekers, what are we expecting? This is a very, very precarious time and a very important time. I should say the last judgment has started. That has started. That's how you are all here and you are seeking. The way you will judge is the Kundalini has to rise. You have to become self-realized. Then you start feeling your centers on your fingers. Tomorrow I'll be giving all the information about all the centers and all that. And I will tell you how you will judge. What are your centers that are catching? What are the centers of others are catching? And when you will judge that, then you will know what is the problem, how to get it done, how to get it all right. There is no technique for spontaneity. Like if you sow a seed, it becomes a tree. There's no technique. If you have flowers, they become a fruit. It's a living thing, and the living things do not have any techniques. But once you get connected, then you must know the divine laws and you must know the divine technique. But first you must be realized, unless and until you put to the mains, how can you use this machine? You are not yet put to the mains. How can you do anything? It's like telephoning somewhere without having any connection. You must be connected first of all to the divine. But this is not a difficult thing. In modern times, it's very easy. Formerly it was, like you can say on a tree in the beginning, you get only 1 or 2 flowers. But the time has come, the blossom time has come. Already today I went to see William Blake's drawings exhibition, and he said all your sins and blasphemy and everything will be forgiven. All your sins will be forgiven. He has said about these days, he said that the God of men will become prophets. And they will have power to convert and transform others into prophets. He has clearly prophesied about Sahaja Yoga. Every word he has said about it. But people don't blink. If you go and see his exhibition, you will be surprised how in the Pilgrim's Progresses only he has given very clearly how you face life. And there are some Sahaja Yogis here sitting down at your back here, and they have come from London, and some of them from Australia. And they could see this is how you face it. But to get realization is the easiest thing. To maintain it, rather difficult. But also that is possible. Now we have in London, you'll be surprised, we had a hall at least 1.5 times bigger than this. And the hall was completely filled. And they rose up to sing the song of Jerusalem. It was a great experience for me to see that. But you won't believe, I started the work in England because my husband got elected to a post there. That's how we were there. And in the beginning, I was working with 7 people, 7 hippies, I should say. 7 people for 4 years. And now, of course, the whole of England, we have many centers and lots of people have got realization and they're working it out. It's working out very well. We have some people here from there who have come. Dr. David is here, and Hester is a barrister. Then we have these two from Australia, Dr. Warren, who was a diplomat. And these two are American girls. Out of them, Christine has been with me since long. And Marsha got her realization only 2 months back. But she was so upright and so straightforward. She got it in Bristol. She followed us up. She came to London. And I was amazed at her. And I said, if you represent American seekers, then there's no problem. You should be straightforward. And you should know that it is you who should decide. If you say, I'm your guru, all right, I accept it for the time being. But a mother is always a guru. If you say that your mother, as she had to teach you so many things, I have to teach you some things. But actually it is you who is your own guru. You have to become, unless and until you are connected. How will you judge? Once you get connected, you will be able to judge. But you don't think that it is a mental activity that is going to bring you your realization. No. God has placed everything beautifully within us. Everything. You have got your Kundalini very nicely placed in the sacrum bone. Now see this bone, sacrum, is a triangular bone called sacrum. So that Greeks knew about this bone. They knew it was a sacred bone. Sacrum means sacred in Greek language. When I went to Greece, I was surprised. They have the complete idea of Kundalini. Complete idea. And they have this Athena. Atha means the primordial mother. In Sanskrit language, Athena. Athens comes from that word. And the way she has holding a serpent in her hand and everything is absolutely, she's the primordial Kundalini. And the whole concept was there. And when I went into the study of that and tried to find out what it was, how did they know? They said we had some Indo-Aryan groups coming down here, and they told us these things. And that's how we know about it. But that was all lost because they brought all the gods to the level of human beings and made a lot of mess out of it. Now we have to know that how Christ was such an important incarnation of this. We have really made a mess of the whole thing. He said that you have to be born again. Actually, he came on this center where you see this red mark. You see, it is placed in the optic chiasma. In the center is a subtle center called as Agya Chakra. In the Hindu scriptures, he is called as Mahavishnu. But I will tell about his advent when he came on this earth. He came on this earth. We say he is the gate, he is the door. He is the door below the limbic area. And the limbic area is the kingdom of God, where one has to enter. The attention has to enter. How do you enter into it? Not bodily, but your attention has to enter into it. Your attention is spread out in this area. It's not there. It has to enter through that area into the limbic area, and ultimately in the fontanelle bone area, it becomes soft, and the Kundalini has to come out, and you get the cool breeze. This is your actual baptism. It's not the baptism you go to some theological college and learn, all right, I baptize. It's all artificial. It's absolutely artificial. That's not the way you can baptize. You have to be a realized soul to do that. John the Baptist was a realized soul. He was the one who knew how to do it. And he did it for all of them. And that's how it should happen to you, that the Kundalini has to rise and give you realization. Now the Christ advent came at this point. It's a very important one, because today we haven't brought our charts and all that. But tomorrow we'll be giving you in a full way how the ego and superego in our brain is connected with this center. When he is awakened, ego and superego are sucked. They create an area here. Our ego and superego gave us our I-ness. We get separated. When he is awakened, this portion gets opened up. And then the Kundalini can rise. That's why it is said that Christ is to be awakened within you. But it can be only done the person who has divine authority. And such a person cannot live on your money. He cannot be your parasite. Such a person has nothing to do with money. How can you purchase such a person? Such a person is beyond your purchase, beyond your control. You cannot do anything for such a person. Such a person just gives. He just gives, he admits. It cannot take anything, it cannot receive. It cannot. You may try, but it doesn't. One day I was walking and a little bit, my foot was a little twisted. And one of the doctors, she said, all right, mother, I'll try to massage your hand. I said, all right, go on, massage. She was massaging me and she was relaxing that side, and I was saying, what's happening to you? She said, mother, what's this? Lots of vibrations are coming and I'm just massaging myself, yourself, and I'm massaging myself. The way it is cooling down and soothing. So such a person cannot take anything from you. Now the most important point which I would like to tell you is this, that we do not realize how precariously we are placed otherwise also. There are equal and opposite forces working on us. For example, a disease like cancer. I was surprised to hear that in this country there are patients, 1 among 4, of cancer disease. I have told this 10 years back, cancer can only be cured through Sahaja. There's no other way out. I have cured many cancer patients, and you can also cure once you get realized. How it happens, how you cure cancer, all this knowledge you can have, free of charge, free of this thing. Actually, first you must get your realization. Without that, no use telling you. Because you come in this room, it's all dark, you are blind, you can't see anything. What's the use of telling the size of the room and the color of the chairs and color of all this? No use telling. Best thing is to open the lights and open your eyes so that you can see for yourself and the complete knowledge becomes your own. Then it's better to talk. Otherwise, supposing even when you cannot see anything, I go on giving the whole history about the electricity and about everything, you'll be bored stiff. And it's of no use. First thing, you must get your realization. That is the first thing is. Cancer can easily be cured by Sahaja. Absolutely. There's no doubt, and there cannot be another doubt that it cannot be cured by anything else. In our body, we have a particular system called as a sympathetic nervous system. Now this sympathetic nervous system goes into a terrible tension when we go to extremes of any kind. Say smoking, for example. Now smoking is a very interesting thing because according to me, this America is the Vishuddhi Chakra, is this center. It's this center. And this center gets spoiled when you smoke. And the smoking is the maximum here. Like the Europe is the liver, and there people drink, and there are so much in it, and their livers are the worst of all in Europe. England is the heart, and England is lethargic. I mean, the whole thing is in such a mess that I don't know what I have to face. But I was happy to know that now the smoking is going down. But with realization, smoking just disappears. You don't have to work hard. Marsha herself used to smoke a lot. She told me, I was amazed. But she's given up completely. Drugs and all those things drop out just like something unnecessary. Because a transformation takes place and the transmutation starts also. When the transmutation starts, all these things drop out. You enjoy the best of your health, best of your heart, best of your mind, and your emotions come up. The best part of it, that this is what one has to achieve. The whole humanity has to achieve. But the few who are the seekers have to do it first. They have to do it first. They are the foundation. Like in every evolution, only few fishes had to come out. First, one fish came out, and then many came out. In the same way, few people have to do it. I'm happy there are few today, though others are disappointed, but I'm not. I'm happy because I'll have to work hard. If there are too many, maybe difficult. As he said, it's true that I gave realization to 6,000 people in a village in India, but they're not complicated. See, they're not so complicated. They don't live with the sounds you have here, or the tensions you have, the litigations you have, the problems you have. I have seen Indians who come here to earn money. They have all gone off their heads. I mean, really they have become half crazy. The gentleman with whom I'm now putting up, he told me already so many Indians have been under litigation, this happened, that happened, and all kinds of tensions are building up. Here, despite all our modern adventure and all that, we have also landed ourselves into terrible tensions of this machinery, this machine age and all that. The villagers in India are extremely simple people. They lead a very simple life. They have no complication. I would say that it would be so easy here the same way as they have got realization. Of course, one has to work hard. We had recently about 7 people, and all of them took about 3 hours to get realization. So it could be that way also. It cannot be guaranteed, it cannot be promised, it cannot be certified. It has to happen. It's the main point is the happening. Is the happening. You have to become. It has to be actualized. It is not to be believed into. That's what you should know. If you are honest, you are truthful, and you want to have it, you'll get it. I work very hard. It's you who has to have patience with yourself. I have all the patience and love, no doubt about it. But you all have to have patience. I told you 7 people I was working for 4 years. Of course, that's not going to be that bad. Because with them, I've worked out many permutations and combinations. Now I know all the permutations and combinations that are really harmful to people and how they are barricaded. But still, I would say I have to still study some American complications, which I do not know. 9 years back, people were simpler people here. They are all mostly have gone away, or also that time the same thing is that I could not contact the media, and everything works on money. You see, you have to give them money, so they publicize. Then they publicize you, then you get more money. Here there is no question of money. You see, the whole basic thing is you have to get real people for a real thing without money. And then you cannot have a big circus, you cannot have a big thing, and it has to be started in a genuine way, in a real way. They asked me that there are agencies who work out all these things. I said, to begin with, I don't think that is important. We should work it out. Let's see. There will be some people who will feel attracted and come, and let's work it out this way. Still, I would like your advice as to where we can go, where, in a decent manner, wherever we can advertise. Just now a lady told us that if you go to these shops, it will be a good idea. We would like to invite people for this experience. This is your right. You are seekers. I'm just like a bank. You have got your bank accounts, I have to just cash it. And there are lots of places also. And whatever mistakes are done, don't worry about it. One of the big problems I faced in England is that they all suffer from a center called left Vishuddhi, which comes out of guilt. You see, they are guilty all the time. Maybe Catholicism, that makes them feel guilty, but it's a very, very common trouble with them. They all the time feel guilty. Now what are you feeling guilty about? We must suffer. Why? Why should you suffer? Christ has suffered for you. Did he leave anything for you to suffer? We should be guilty about what? Why are you guilty? I'm talking of ocean of compassion, ocean of love. And what guilt can you have? And it's a very big mistake to think that you have done a little mistake here and a little mistake there. God has to save his creation. It is he who has to come in compassion and has to do something about it. If he doesn't save you, his creation is lost. You shouldn't feel like that in a small way. It's all very childish, I would say, like a child, to feel, oh, I've done this mistake. But no. Your Father is so great, is so full of love. You have to just look at him and he'll work it out. You should forgive yourself. That is one of the things I would request you. First of all, before forgiving anybody else, you must forgive yourself. That is the first thing you have to do before realization. Of course, in one lecture I cannot tell you much about it. This is just an introductory lecture, and we haven't brought our charts and all that, because first day if you start seeing the chart, you see, again you become mechanical and you think it's some sort of a computer, you have to work it out. Actually, you are a computer. You become a divine computer. But that's a different system. And so it's better that we talk about it just now and you get your realization, work it out. We are going to be here for some time, and I hope you'll be able to follow my lectures and follow the whole thing. And it's such a tremendous thing. I must have given at least 500 lectures in London, at least minimum. And still every time I speak, they say, Mother, you are speaking something new. So you can imagine how much knowledge is there. But you are knowledge. You become knowledge yourself. In Australia, the newspaper people were very good to me because there was some happening. A lady was very seriously ill and she had some sort of a very serious stroke, and a friend of hers was a big man in the newspapers, and one of the surgeons there gave my photograph to her. And she recovered from that with the photograph only. So this man started thinking about it, and then they did a big publicity for me. So it was lucky, I should say, for Australians. And I was there for about, how many 1 month or so. 3 weeks. And we've got thousands there now, thousands. There are 7 cities where we have 7 centers. It has worked. I will say Australians are very good for realization. It was surprising. We got very good people there. They got realization, they settled down, and they knew it was the truth. That was the thing. And you have to be intelligent enough to see what is the truth. Don't allow your intelligence to cheat you. Be careful about your intelligence also, it can cheat you also. But you should be really sharp about it to see what is the truth and wise. And that's what you are going to have. Now I would request you to ask me questions, because you see, you all must be having lots of questions here, your mind, and you should better ask, because I don't want, while we are giving you realization, you should feel that, oh, I didn't ask this question to mother. Though this makes no difference. Whether you ask me questions or not, it's a very different thing. It is beyond your mind. You go beyond your mind, beyond your ego, beyond your super ego. You become something else. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Yes.
Could we try talking with the microphone off?
You will be better off, you think?
Yeah,
I was feeling that.
Here, and I don't know if anyone else.
It's not a good one, is it?
Can everybody hear it now?
Can you hear me better? Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was saying. So, if there is any question, you can ask. Yes?
I'm interested. You know, there are many people who come with offering some realization. I was wondering, you had a unique experience, which I would like to know something about it. That would, in other words, you have something unique to offer. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I would say, I don't know how many have come here, how many have been thugs, and how many have been real actually, but most of them have been thugs only. Because what they offer you, I don't know. I have had people from other gurus, all kinds of gurus, you see, and there are 1 or 2 sitting here, all of them have been to someone or something like that. Now, as I told you, the uniqueness of Sahaja Yoga is this. Sahaja means, Saha means with, and Ja is born with you, is your own, within you. Now, the uniqueness about it is this, that it is what you are seeking. That's what you are going to get, is your spirit, is that you become that. It's the uniqueness. It's not that I can say that there is a course of 10 days, you go through the course, or you pay for, say, a jumping course or a so-called flying course or something like that. It is what you are, you become that. The uniqueness of it is that it's a happening which is living happening. You see, we don't do anything living work. You know, what we do is a dead work. Like a tree died, we make chairs. We think we have achieved a lot. You see, this hall is all built of dead things, isn't it? We have just changed the form. And these forms actually try to dominate us. This chair becomes a sort of a obsession for us because we can't sit on the ground. We have to use a chair like that. Now, anything that we do is all dead. Supposing somebody has to jump. Anybody can jump. What is there to be jumping? People pay money to jump. Can you imagine? To take out clothes, people pay money. How can that be? What is so great about it? We must understand, what do we become? What powers do we become? You see, there's a guru, he says, all right, I give you some knowledge. Now, what knowledge has he got? One gentleman came, he said, I've already got knowledge. I said, what knowledge do you have? For example, now, Warren can tell you, where is your chakra catching? Where is your kundalini? Where it is obstructed? How to raise it? How to bring it up? How to take it out? Then he can cure patients. He must have cured, I don't know how many. You all can cure patients, and knowingly what is it, what chakra is the catching, what is happening, what is the mental process, everything you know in your awareness. You become a different person. It's a transformation that takes place in you. You become master of yourself. To explain, I will tell you, very simple, and an analogy might tell you. Say you are traveling by, you are trying to learn how to drive. Now you have got an accelerator and you have got a brake. You are working it out. You see, one, another. We have two channels within us, which I'll show tomorrow to you. which are there, for one for our desire, one for our action. So we start working both of these and start managing. We go to extremes this way, that way, and make all kinds of mistakes, whatever it is, but we try to balance ourselves. When do we learn the car driving? When we learn it. Once you have done that, then the master is sitting at the back. And once he sees you have balanced it, he gives you your place. You become the master of your vehicle. This is what has to happen. The breakthrough has to take place. It's not just a make-believe that, oh, we have become like this. I mean, there are mad people who believe they are self-realized. There are many like that. You see, they believe that they are not. Because they should be able to tell, they should become collectively conscious, they should be able to tell, where is the Kundalini? Where is the problem? Now, for example, you are sitting here, all right? Now, you do not know about the next gentleman sitting next to you. Where is the problem? Where is his Kundalini? You cannot give him realization. But the people who are realized souls, even small children can do it. Very small children. They will immediately say, this is the center catch, you on the finger. Little children will show the same finger. For example, if you have a problem, say, on this center, all right? All the children, you put some sort of a thing to close their eyes and ask them, which center is catching? They'll all say this. All of them will say the same. And they also know how to correct it. Little children know how to correct it. They are born realized, and born realized children are dynamic. And they know so many born realized children are being born these days. How will you know whether they are born realized or not? You do not know also who is a fake guru, who is a real guru. You don't know anything. There's no discrimination power. But if you want to know also about that, you can just put the hands towards them and you can find out. Your vibrations will vanish completely. You'll have heat coming from horrible gurus. If you see any horrible guru, you will find it's a very bad vibrations coming in there, all burning, and some of them just stop vibration. You just don't get any vibrations from them. You can make it out from everyone what sort of a person he is. For example, in absolute question, there are atheists who don't believe in God, all right. Now, when they get realization, they can ask a question, is there God? Tremendous vibration. To find out relatively, we can say, put three people, one from a guru who is horrid, one from lunatic asylum, and one who is a realized soul, according to us, all right? Now you put them together. You will find the one who is from a guru, maybe feeling hot, very hot, or may not get realization at all, maybe frozen, anything. The one who from lunatic asylum may feel also hot, horrible, but he may get well, he may get realization. And the third person, who is the one who is a realized soul, will get only cool peace. We have cured many people who are mentally like that. Many are being cured, and you can cure also. It is you become that, is the point. You become that. You're right. You have been seeking all your life. Actually, it is impossible to believe that there could be someone who does it just for love's sake. We can't believe such a person. But it is so incredible for people to, they just can't believe it. It's an impossibility for them to believe that there is a person who just loves you. You just can't believe it. Because it's so money-oriented. The whole thing is so money-oriented that we can't believe it. Even our parents, we think they love us for money. I mean, it has gone to that limit of absurdity. But God is love, and love is there. And in His love, He wants to do it. It has to happen. Any other question?
I'm not clear about, you said there were going to be more lectures, and all I know about is the notice that was in the Village Voice, and you were going to be at 5 different places this week in New York. Are those going to be the different meetings?
I didn't know.
I'll make an announcement about that later. I'll give you where it's going to be. In fact, the meetings are going to be, could I just have the sheet?
You see, we have lots of, all of us have got it, and we'll give you all that to you. And you come along to those lectures, and you helped us to bring, you see, actually we do not know how to meet the seekers. That's the main point with us. And we don't need anything else, like the lady offered me also. We don't need anything. We don't need any money. We have everything. We have no problem. No money, nothing. We have got places to live in, and we have no problem of any time. What we want is to, we have also got halls and everything, and we don't need anything. But what we want, that we want seekers to come down, and you have to suggest to us how to get them. That's all. Now this is there any change in this one?
No, this is it. So it's at the Hyatt Hotel, and we'll give you each a copy of the sheet.
Yes.
I think
Have
that's
you got the
simple
sheet?
way.
Have you brought it? You didn't bring the sheets with you?
Yes, we've got enough
All
for
right.
everyone, and
So we'll give you all that. All right?
that's the best way.
I have another question. It's a question I feel a little bit uncomfortable about asking because I'm not asking you to judge anyone or perhaps you wouldn't want to comment on this. But
No, I have to. I'm sorry, I have to. You see, it's very good of you to say that I should not make comment, but I have to. I'm sorry. Because, you see, I can't bear to see the way their kundalinis have gone down. The comment has to be, you see, when Christ was criticizing them, they said the same thing to him. Why should you criticize them? They don't criticize you. So he said the satanic is not going to speak against satanic. That's what it is. You do not know how serious it is. When you will know, you will be amazed. You do not know how serious it is. And that's why you are saying that. Once you will find out why I'm saying it. You see, it is not easy to say anything against these people. It's not easy. But none of them, I have said about them, each one of them, about 10 years back, openly, about each one of them who they are. Nobody has ever tried to even bring any suit or any lawsuit against me. And whatever is wrong, I have to say that I'm sorry, my child. You see, this is not a thing where you can allow satanic things to happen. We have to discriminate. You will know yourself. It is, you cannot love a snake like that. You must know snake is a snake and a human being is a human being. Everybody has his own values. You see, here I'm not going to be angry with you for that, but definitely I'm angry with them, all of them. Definitely. You do not, you just wait and see. You yourself will be so angry. I'll show you a girl who came from, say, one of these things. She was epileptic. Her daughter was epileptic. Her husband was epileptic. She was a granddaughter of a duke. She had lost all her money. They had sold their house. They were on the streets. Absolutely. And she is a seeker. If you are a mother, what would you say to that? You'll say they're very nice people. You will go and garland them. Not one, but I'll show you thousands of cases. Here we have cases who have come. She's yesterday sitting here. You just ask her. How much she was harmed? How much she was harmed? She would have been dead. Do you think I should say they are nice people? Apart from anything, they spoil your chances of realization. I am not here for votes or anything. Why should I try to please them? I have to tell the truth. If you don't mind, I have to tell them.
Well then, I'd just like to ask you, what about people that are doing chakra therapy and they charge very high prices? I mean, maybe they're not high prices, and they help people, and yet people don't have that kind of money. And I would like to ask you what you think of people that do chakra therapy and charge fees.
What sort of therapy?
Chakra therapy.
Oh, people who do chakra therapy and charge high prices. What do you think of those people?
I don't know what sort of it's all make-believes. How can you have any chakra therapy without realization? It's all make-believe. If you believe all this nonsensical people, what am I to do now? Why do you believe them? You see, chakra therapy. I mean, I don't know. An ordinary Indian can understand. Only a saint can do it. He has to be a saint. How can you charge money? A saint will not take a pie from you. You see, it's a simple thing. Try to understand.
See, I always thought that.
This is American chakra therapy. Is a new thing I've heard, and this is the first thing. This is a new one added to my knowledge.
I think you will understand if I don't want in public to mention this person's name.
It doesn't matter.
You may know who he is.
No, makes no difference. You see, it's a general thing.
I've been going to this person,
Coca-Cola.
and the thing is that, I mean, he did help me. I mean, he told me you have, your block is in the heart chakra and so forth. And the thing is that I started, even though I was helped, I was a cloistered nun for 10 years, and I was trying to, go on with that, and I never found anybody, and then I found this man, but I started getting bad vibes all about paying him this money. And I was just sort of wondering about it.
I'll tell you that. What is it? You see, you might get a temporary help, no doubt about it.
I beg your
Now,
pardon?
you can get a temporary help. You see, now you are bringing me into controversy, so I have to tell you about it, but you don't mind it. What happens within us, we have some stored energies in the chakras, all right? And like acupuncture is not to be done by a person who is not a realized soul. It's to be done only by realized souls. If acupuncture is done by somebody who is not a realized soul, I mean, it's against Zen. It's against Zen. You have to be a Kashyapa. I mean, people don't read about it. Kashyapa means a realized soul. If you are not a realized soul, you are not supposed to do. Now, this one also, chakra therapy, what you can do is to work on the sympathetic nervous system. On the sympathetic nervous system, you can pull out the little energy that you have, but you develop other problems with it. Sahaja Yoga is a thing by which you get open to the all-pervading power, all the time flowing with you. You have to open to yourself, to that universal being within your heart, which is the spirit. You don't have to sort of, there's an energy here, an energy there, an energy there. You don't have to take that energy out, but the energy from the above comes in you like grace, it flows. And that's how always such things can lead into terrible problems, mental problems, all kinds of things. Supposing you try to treat somebody mentally, then you extract their physical energy, then the person will suffer physically. You see, there's a stored energy for a particular chakra, which I will explain to you everything, all right? And you cannot charge for raising your kundalini, because you have your kundalini intact there. You are just there, you have everything. Only thing, by being here, your kundalini rises by itself, so you cannot pay. Do you pay the Mother Earth for sprouting a seed? They do help temporarily, they do. For example, somebody gives you a mantra. All right, take a mantra state, I'll tell you. Say, they say Rama's mantra. Now, there cannot be one mantra given to anyone in any science of mantras, because you people are so naive, you see. They give, all right, take the name of Rama. This cannot be done. Rama mantra is only on the right heart chakras if you have a problem, to be given by a realized soul, because it has to be a connected one. It has a science, you know. All of them know what mantras to be said at what point, because they know how to raise the kundalini, they know where it is obstructed and what mantra to be said, which date it is to be awakened. What is the mantra for which particular chakra? They know all that. And they know all these methods, but while they will give you a mantra. Now you may feel better. Really, sometimes you may feel dynamic. You feel, oh, I'm very activated, I'm overactive in this. A spirit with that name may be around, which may come round, and you may become possessed, and you might become extremely active, you see. But then you'll go down. Within 5 years, there will be a complete decline. You'll be a recluse, you'll be a frightened person, you'll be a coward, you won't be able to even, there are people I've known who cannot even face what you call that garlic. Can you imagine afraid of a vegetable? Really, there are people who, if you show them garlic, they get frightened. I mean, are you going to become like that? Is that freedom?
When people talk about Kundalini, they say it goes from the sacrum up to the spine, off the head, and then down again. And with me, whatever happened, because I didn't study Kundalini or whatever, I just would meditate. Something came from up here and moved down. And over a period of like months, and in fact, it's been 2 years now, I feel something up in my head, like here and then here and here, then here, and then down here and here, and then it hasn't gone any further than that. Well, this sort of.
You see, if you try your own self, you see, trying with the Kundalini, actually sympathetic goes into activity. You have no right on the parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is the one which balances, and that is the central path of Sushumna, through which the Kundalini has to rise. But if you try anything, what you do is always you can use sympathetic. I'll give you an example. Supposing you are running fast, all right? Then you can raise the rate of your heart. But you cannot slow it down. It slows down by itself. That is parasympathetic activity. So you just get into sympathetic activity. And by sympathetic activity, if you overdo it, then all these symptoms happen. And it's not helpful. On the contrary, chakras go into quite, like this is the left and the right sympathetic, and these are the centers. They get pulled down like this. And if they are pulled like this, then you are harmed. So it is not an experience of Kundalini, but is of the sympathetic.
This isn't anything I was looking for or asking for. I didn't even know anything about. I didn't even know what chakras were. But from just sitting still, I would feel these things happen. But I guess they're chakras because they're in the same places. But how come it went down instead of coming up?
No, it doesn't go down. Kundalini never goes down. It goes upward, always. The thing that comes down is the grace, you see. The grace comes down, not the Kundalini. Kundalini always goes upwards. And the grace comes on your sympathetic, which cools you down completely. You become absolutely relaxed with the grace. But the Kundalini itself always goes upward. It never comes down. But in people, it so happens that Kundalini goes through this central path. Now, if it is sort of very much rugged, or if it is extremely smooth due to the mistakes of the seekers, then it falls down. It falls down is a different point than going like that. It falls down. Then you have to raise it again and tie it up. Again raise it and tie it up. In many people it has to be done, but it can work out. You will get the complete knowledge, don't you worry. Now he has been, as he said, 18 months, but he's a master of Kundalini. He can raise your Kundalini and you are just like him, you will become the same. There's no problem at all. It will work out.
How did you get your realization?
I was born like this. I'm like this for ages, ancient. I'm a mystery, I should say, in the beginning. We should keep it as a mystery. Then you'll discover me, all right? Let's have it that way. First you discover yourself and then discover me. Will be better idea, isn't it? Because I don't want to say something which will unnecessarily makes, people upset. Best is you become something.
You said truly realized Guru has a cool air,
Yeah.
not hot one.
No, hot is very dangerous.
I see.
Those
But
who
I
give
heard
hot,
very cold one is also dangerous.
not
Cold one
very
is
cool,
dead.
but you don't get air. You might feel extremely cool if you are a low blood pressure patient, if you are left-sided, if you are possessed, you feel absolutely cool,
Chill.
very
Yeah.
cool. That's not good. Feeling cool is different from a cool breeze, like, you see, you feel a
Right.
breeze coming in.
Comfortable, cool.
But should not be hot in any case. Hot is a very dangerous thing. If it is too hot, that means it's not good.
How did you get the hot air?
Huh?
Why you get a lot of hot air?
It's a friction. It's the friction with the divine. You see, when the Kundalini is rising, she should normally give you cool breeze in the hands.
So it's
When
like
she
that.
rises, yes. But when there's a friction, always friction makes it hot, you see. But it cools down. There's no problem. In the beginning, most of you will get hot, little bit. Because after all, you see, we are all very complicated people. Our brains, especially our modern brains, you see. So we have been thinking. Just we cannot stop our thinking for a minute even. But the first thing that will happen to you, that you enter into thoughtless awareness. That's called as nirvichar samadhi in Sanskrit. Means you are aware, absolutely aware, but there's no thought. The thoughts, that's the awakening of Christ. First, that thing should happen to you. Once that happens, then it passes through here, and you can feel the cool breeze. Many people who smoke cannot feel it in the hands in the beginning because of this chakra being a little bit in trouble. But then you start feeling. Masha, you feel quite all right in the hand.
Yes.
She used to smoke. She's a great seeker, I must say. All right? Should we have it now? What about you people? Come forward. It will be better for me, all right? Just come. Will be better here.
Just come down. Just so that you can hear what she says. You two fellas? Yeah.
Will be good. They look nice.
Can you let them sit there?
Yes, yes. They are good people. Just come.
The
It
other?
doesn't give any trouble, doesn't give any problems, nothing. You don't forget all that what you have read about Kundalini. Nothing. She's your mother. She's your holy mother. And she's your individual mother. But she's love. So how can she trouble you? She's the one who gives you realization. All these are absurd ideas. And people who are unauthorized have written about it. It's nothing of the kind. No. I think we should go. Yes.
I would like to ask for Now, we're going to receive this procedure or process for our raising our Kundalini. Is that going to be over a several-day period that's going to take place?
Right.
He's asking that if we're going to receive the Kundalini awakening, is it going to be a process over several days?
No, it's a split of a second. Actually, it is split of a second. But it takes time in some people, as I said, because if there are obstructions, you see now if you have a beautiful runaway and a beautiful aircraft, then the landing and takeoff is very smooth. But sometimes it is a second-hand stuff.
Oh, so
Then,
in other words, it may come tomorrow during some people may receive it tomorrow, is that correct?
No, it's highly likely you'll get it tonight, unless there's
yes, of
any
course, just now.
obstruction.
Oh, I thought you were
Just now, no doubt. But you have to learn how to maintain it is the point. Just now, you are going to have. Just now you are going to
It's
have. Just now.
spontaneous. It happens spontaneously.
It's spontaneous. It is just now. But only thing is that you should know how to maintain it. Now supposing you get it and then outside you go start thinking about it, then it goes down. The vibrations will be lost. You have to be careful. It's like a seed sprouting, it's a seed sprouting. It's a seedling in the beginning. So you have to be careful. About 7 days if you are careful, it is settled down. 7 days you have to be a little careful with it, which will tell you how to be careful.
Well,
We'll manage.
the reason I ask is because once we receive it, then we will become messengers. We will then.
Yes, of course, of course.
That's why I wonder-
Next time I'm not going to import people from Australia and from England.
You've got to do it.
You have got to have the Americans here to do this job, isn't it?
Yes.
We are not going to import them from all over the places, and two are coming from Switzerland. So that's not a very good sign. I think we should, actually Americans should go abroad and do it. They go to India in the Indian villages and they do it there in the Indian villages.
When you get it, you'll be able to give it to others.
Thank you very much.
Very simple. All right? What is it you are asking?
I was curious about what kinds of things help to maintain it. Because Hugo came the other day and I saw the tape from Hong Kong. And it was not in a very good place, I think, because of a lot of people and it wasn't very peaceful. But later I had a headache. So I was here the whole day.
No, you have to know, because I tell you what's the problem with you is you have a liver problem. You have a liver problem, and that is showing. You see, this is the beauty of Sahaja Yoga. Once you get realization, you start seeing your body, feeling it. Wherever you have problem, you know. You have a liver problem and it has to be corrected. I know you have a liver problem, sitting down here. And it's very simple. In Sahaja Yoga, you can correct your liver in no time. Once you correct your liver, you will have never a headache. But it suggests that you have that, and you better get rid of it. You see, it's good that you had a headache, now you'll get after your liver. Otherwise, still it becomes horribly bad and you'll be continuing. A person becomes mad, still he doesn't know that he's gone mad. It's like that. The disease crawls into you. But in Sahaja Yoga, immediately you know. And you are a liver patient, you know that. It has to be corrected. And it's not difficult. Most of the diseases can be cured, except for few, like I should say cataract and something like that. You see, where something is dead, or they put these days, you see, an artificial limb and all that, so we can't work out on these things. But most of the things get cured, automatic. Here they say if you cure somebody, you will be put in the prison, but I don't cure, you just get cured, you see. So I hope legally I'm all right, otherwise Christ would have been in jail here. I don't know about the laws, but this time I'm sure they cannot crucify me. It's all right. Let's work it out. Let's put your hands. Both the feet on the